Today has been a rainy day, so we decided that we wanted to go to a few antique malls, also known as peddlers malls, but we like to call it treasure hunting. Wayne likes to collect old railroad tokens, old money, old cast iron toys, and as you've seen, I like to collect crystals and different items like that. But in these peddlers malls, you'll also find used items as well as new items, and they definitely always has their share of lovely antique furniture. There was so much music in the background everywhere we went, so I didn't want to get a copyright on this, so I decided to do a voiceover on it, just kind of show you around, because you definitely, if it was possible, I would have had Wayne on here talking throughout this video, because his little silly comments he makes. But hope you guys enjoy, and let's go on a treasure hunt and see what we can find. And as we walk around, I'll show you a few items that we come across, some items that we like, some old items, as well as different things that are unusual. And right here I'm talking about, my list is always this small and Wayne's is always this big when we go out to treasure hunting. So I kind of laugh at him as he goes through, and he'll say, oh, I'm after one thing, and then he'll come out with a whole bunch of items. So it's actually fun to go on and fun to look around, because you never know what you're going to find in these places, and it's always so fun for us to look around. Like we said, we call it treasure hunting because we might go in after one item, but we'll find something in there that we like that will come out with something different. What do you guys think right here? He looks like he's up to no good already, making his little silly comments. Can't take him anywhere. Here we came across a beautiful solid wood armoire, and we thought it was really pretty. We always like to stop and look at all the old antique furniture. And then as we passed that booth, we came across some more old items. There were some old record players, some old photos, some old milk cans. There's some old record players there, some old typewriters. He's on his move again. Here we go. Here are some of the old cast iron toys that they had displayed. These aren't as old as the one that he collects, but I figured I would show you the types that they have in these antique malls. Some were pretty cool, I thought. I especially like the airplane at the top there. Then as we go to the next section, this light I found interesting. It has an old electric meter inside of it. I thought that was pretty neat. And some more old sewing machines. And there's a very old record player. There's another one. I thought they were pretty cool to look at. And then I came across this old stove. It looked pretty neat. And I did find this 1800s doll. There was something about her. I did actually purchase her, so I brought her home with me. And then here are some of Wayne's collections. He likes to collect these old railroad and transit tokens. And then here was a booth with some new guitars, but Wayne and I both have one. And then another old sewing machine that I find so interesting because they're an antique. And this was another interesting sign that was made from copper, and it was 3D. And the sign beside it was even more interesting. I'll let you read that for yourself. And then here was a cabinet with some clowns. Some were a little creepy. And to the next booth, I did find a booth with some jewelry. I always stop and look at those items. Some were little expensive, some were perfect price, but the sign that was in this booth as well, I will let you read that one for yourself. Like I said, you'll find some silly things as you go through as well. And then I did come across a booth that was with handmade jewelry and crystals. I did get a few of the bracelets. They did have some smudging kits. They had a few raw crystals that were out, and each one display does have where the items come from. So if you need something else, you can also contact that person. I did get 2 of the red jasper raw stones because I didn't have the raw ones. I've only had the polished ones. And then here's some of the items that Wayne came out with from this first Peddler's Mall. These are the cast iron banks that I was telling you about that he collects. As you move the character back and you push the button, he flips the coin into the top. But the second one that he got today was my favorite one. It was the cannonball. And as you push the little character back into the cannonball and flip the button, he actually comes out of the cannon and flips the coin. So I thought that one was pretty cool to see. One day we'll show a video on all of his collection because he really loves these cast iron banks and collectible toys. And then I made a few purchases as well from this Peddler's Mall. I did get, like I said, some red jasper. I did get some crystal bracelets and necklaces as well. And as we left this one, we went to the next Peddler's Mall and we did find a few items as well. Here at this next one, I do love the homemade hand soaps that people make. I did purchase some sandalwood. And this roll top desk was absolutely beautiful. We have one, so I didn't need it, but I did stop and look at it. And then the next booth had these crystal trees. And of course, I don't have a crystal tree. The turquoise one stood out to me the most, but they did have the multicolor and the green adventurine. But I purchased the multicolor one today because I thought I liked that one the best. And then I came across another booth that had all kinds of crystals and smudging items and candles. And they had some crystals for each zodiac, but they didn't have any Leo for me. So next time when I go back, hopefully I'll be able to find that. But I think this booth was actually my favorite. I did purchase a couple of books that she had. And the next time I go back, I will probably purchase a few more items. I did also get a healing candle. And this is just a really great booth. It's one of my favorites that I've came across in as many as Peddler's Malls that we've been in. So, oh, and this desk right here. This was my favorite of the whole trip. It actually had the old antique mirror original, but it was a little bit pricey and it wasn't in budget at the time. So hopefully the next time I go back, I will be able to find this dresser and purchase it. And then here was another item that was interesting to us. It was actually made from someone who was in prison. So that was pretty neat to find. And then we come across some more of the coins. Wayne likes to stop at all these coins booth, and he collects a lot of different types. One of the favorites in this type of money is his Morgan dollars, and they also had items that had insects encased that I thought was crystals, but it wasn't. So after I saw the spiders and the scorpions, I was done with that booth. And then on the way out the door, there was one last glass encasement that had so many different crystals, anything that you could think of, from crystals to oracle cards to smudging. And I hope you all have enjoyed this little adventure. It was such a rainy day, we didn't want to waste the time. And tomorrow for Thanksgiving, we do have tickets to go to Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky for horse racing. So I'm looking forward to that and very excited. And until next time, guys, let's see what's out there.